What's up, guys? My name is Matthew, and this is a new show for the channel. This is The Last of Us, and I'm so excited for Season 2. I will say, for the first episodes of shows on my channel, I do sort of yap for a little bit. I have a lot to say about the show. This is one of my sort of first passions, The Last of Us, the video game. I have a lot to talk about. So if you just want to skip to my reaction, just go to the next chapter. But I will discuss my, thoughts of the first season. Some of the stuff that's been said online recently. And I also will say, later in the discussion, I'm going to talk about some spoilers, but I'm going to make it very evident that I am going to talk some spoilers, and I'm not gonna go on forever about spoilers. I'm just gonna talk a little bit about sort of when I think they're gonna structure this. But going into it, I do want to say, obviously you see the poster over there in the corner. The Last of Us was one of the first stories that really gripped me. To say this, I have a film degree now. I want to be an author one day. And back in 2013, The Last of Us really hit me. Like I said, one of the very first stories, arguably the first story that really grasped me. So there was immediately that connection, and that was at a time when I wasn't really into video games that much. The only video game at that point that I probably would say I was a fan of was Minecraft. So big discrepancy in the genre there. But then The Last of Us Part 2 was announced, and I might be slightly understating how much I was a Last of Us fan. I was a Last of Us fanboy. I thought, I loved it. So when The Last of Us Part 2 came out, I wanted to play it. It was the first video game that I ever really wanted to play. And I bought a PlayStation for it. I was prepared for it, and in fact, it's what got me into video games, because in the wait for The Last of Us Part 2, I played Horizon Zero Dawn, which is my favorite game of all time. I played Red Dead. I played all the big ones. And then The Last of Us Part 2 came out, and I don't want anyone to misunderstand what I'm saying, because obviously, if you've been online in regarding The Last of Us Part 2, it is a controversial topic. It's probably the game that I have the most complex relationship with, because I can safely say that I thought that it was a good quality game. I really did think it was a good quality game. Some of the stuff didn't hit for me, and I'm not shitting on the game. I know the thing with The Last of Us fans and what Part 2 did to it, good or bad. No, if you liked it or not, it's very evident that it did this. It really split the fan base, and I think it's sadly, well, it's because I'm on the internet, and I see the sort of, the most exaggerated opinions. But to me, like, with what I've experienced, it's either, you absolutely hate the game, or you think it's the greatest game of all time. When I think it's somewhere more in the middle, as in, like, it's a good game. I don't think it's as good as Part 1, but it's good, you know what I mean? But anyway, some of the structuring, some of the formatting, some of the characters, I wasn't the biggest fan of. But here's what I mean, and something that really irks me as a fan, is the fact that I will repeat, The Last of Us Part 2 was slightly disappointing for me. I want to repeat real quick too, though. I say that it's slightly disappointing, and yet The Last of Us Part 2 is probably the game that I've played the most, because it has the best gameplay of any game I've ever played. I love the gameplay in it. So, like, again, I want to repeat, it is a fantastic game. It's just a game that I think has a couple problems, and it is a game that, I don't think is perfect. But, it's... The thing that irks me about fans, especially fans that didn't like Part 2, fans that, this, that, they want this season to not be good. I don't understand that. They changed a lot of stuff in Season 1, and I will get into my discussion about Season 1. They changed a lot of stuff about Season 1, so I'm excited to see what they change about Season 2, to maybe see if they improve certain people, or certain arcs, or certain, make bottle episodes. I'm interested in that. I want that to happen. I want, I'm not some stubborn, I don't feel spited by me not liking The Last of Us Part 2, because again, I want to repeat, and I don't even, I use the wrong words there. I do like it. I just don't love it. And I expected to love it like I loved the first game. But I'm not spited by me not liking it, because it's a good game. If you understand what I mean. and I want them to improve it. I want to have a good experience because again, this is so cool. The Last of Us as an adaptation is such a cool thing, and honestly, it's some sort of weird way. I'm like a proud fan. I was there on the ground level, like I experienced it when it came out, and it was such a good game. It was such a good game, and I will now sort of I gave some of my opinions about The Last of Us Part Two, and I don't know if I'll discuss. Well, I'm not going to discuss spoilers. The only thing I will say is that The Last of Us Part Two is a very oddly structured game, and again, I'm not saying it's the best structure of all time. I'm not saying it's the worst structure of all time. It has some problems, but for the most part, I think it's okay. It is a weirdly structured video game. It's a weirdly structured narrative. They cannot do a one-to-one adaptation of that on screen because it will not work out. Not even like, and again, I'm not gonna talk about any spoilers. I really don't want to get into it. I'm just sort of gonna say again the vague stuff about the structure of it. If they followed the structure to the exact T and they stopped in the middle point, because the video game does have a middle point, it would make for a really good season 2, but it would not be a good season 3, in my opinion. Not just from like a personal aspect, but I mean just more from a casual audience. You know what I mean? It wouldn't fit, so they do have to change some stuff. And I'm very excited to see how they change it. Like, you know what I mean? Again, I want to repeat, The Last of Us Part 2 is one of the most unique narratives I have ever experienced. Again, whether you think it's the best thing of all time, whether you think it's the worst thing of all time, it's unique. And I'm very excited to see how they translate that. But anyway, getting onto the show, and obviously, you know what I mean, this came out and I ate it up. I loved it. I thought for the most part that it was good. From I have a film degree. From the perspective of this being a TV show and not knowing anything about an adaptation or not knowing anything about the original, I thought there was a pretty goddamn good season of TV. Not like elite, not like excellent, but like a good 7.5, maybe 8 on a good day out of 10. Obviously, the Bill and Frank episode was fantastic. It made me cry. It's a fantastic episode of TV. Obviously, there's a lot of changes in it, and I don't think any of the changes are better than the game, to be quite honest. But again, I want to repeat, it's an enjoyable narrative. My only problem with it, my only big problem, and I want to repeat, I think it's something that benefits these next 2 seasons, is the fact that it was too short. It was way too short. Not way too short, as in like it either should have been 13 episodes or it should have been 2 seasons. I feel like, again, I don't want to say rushed, but like it was so short. And not only that, but they only had 9 episodes last season, and 2 of them were bottle episodes. And again, I want to repeat, I think that the Bill and Frank episode was one of the best seasons, or one of the best episodes of TV of the year. It was really good. It made me cry on rewatch as well. It made me cry multiple times. But for me, The Last of Us Part 1 is about Joel and Ellie's relationship, and I don't think, again, I'm not shitting on the season, I'm just giving some of my opinions here. I want everyone to know my mindset going into this. I don't think that it was fleshed out enough. Not even, I could go on a whole tangent, and I don't really want to, but like, character like Joel, he's fundamentally a different character in the show. He's a lot more open, and softer, not as in like he's weak. He's softer. He's more open. That's a fine channel. Like, I'm not like angry with that, because again, it's a fundamental difference. It's not like trying to adapt something and failing at it. No, it's like they purposefully did something different, and I think that's because there were less episodes. And in my opinion, what makes The Last of Us narrative, the Part 1's narrative, arguably the best narrative in video game history, is because you slowly see this hardened, alone man, sort of layer after layer, sort of open up towards Ellie. And obviously, again, I want to repeat, because they had such little time, and because they devoted 2 episodes to non-Joel and Ellie, non-Joel and Ellie together, like they had an Ellie. I'm talking about Joel and Ellie. Because they had, 2 episodes to go on, leaving only 7. I don't think that it was showcased enough. I really liked the last episode. I thought that it did pretty good. Again, it's an adaptation. Adaptations are never better or even at the same quality. But I thought they did a great job. I think that that suicide conversation between Joel and Ellie in the last episode was fantastic. A great addition to the narrative. And again, I really liked season one. And I know people. I watch it multiple times. I watch it 3 times. I watch it by myself. I watch it with my mother. I watch it with my aunt. They both loved it. So I know that season one is a good season of TV. Don't get me wrong. But again, obviously, as someone who's a Game of Thrones fan, some other stuff like Death Note, the adaptation is typically worse. But I thought they did a good job, and I'm excited to see what they do with this. The final thing that I do want to say before I get into it, now I want to repeat, I don't like to get into that many conversations online, especially arguments, especially opinionated, conversations. Something I've seen most recently that has disgusted me, absolutely disgusted me, is the treatment of Bella Ramsey. Like, abhorrent. Like, I've never seen anything like this, because I want to repeat, and it sucks. It really sucks. Like, The Last of Us Part 2 completely broke the fan base in half. And again, whether you like the game or not, whether you dislike the game or not, I will say that I think that's a mistake on the part of the creators. You could have done this story or a story like this and not done that. And anyone who says that you couldn't is incorrect. But the way that they have gone at Bella Ramsey for no reason, it's disgusting. It really is, and it's hard to be on. Again, it's one of those things. It's hard to be online sometimes because it just disgusts me that much. I will say, and again, I thought that Bella Ramsey did a really good job in season 1. Okay, did I think she was the greatest actor of all time? No, obviously not. Okay, she was good. She was pretty good. I think that again, very much so with Joel in the sense of TV show Joel is considerably different than video game Joel. I think that not as much, but I think there is a slight difference. I think that Ramsey is better at portraying the sort of volatile teenager side, less of the softer Ellie moments. But even then, I'm gonna repeat, I don't think she did a bad job or anything like that. I will say, and this is the only thing that I 100% agree with, because people are like going at her for no reason. Every single minute, every single second, it's just constant. Like I've never seen an attack like this for no reason. She does obviously look a little young for the role that she's about to portray. Like that's a fact. You know what I mean? But to attack her for it is vile. And here's the thing, and again, for me, it's just a fundamental difference. And someone who was iffy about The Last of Us Part 2, but not some hater. I want it to be good. So this is Ellie in season 2 and season 3 is considerably different than Ellie in season 1. To not give Ramsey a chance to showcase her abilities in this role, it's disgusting. Let her act. Let's see if she can do it. I'm not going to hold back. At the end of the season, if I'm not happy with Bella Ramsey's acting in the role, I will tell you. I will tell you straight up. Because again, I want to repeat, it's a little different than watching a normal TV show. Because I'm very familiar with the source material. I really like the source material. So I'm not going to talk about spoilers. If I do, it'll be at the very end of an episode, and I'll throw up a spoiler warning talking about some certain stuff or certain changes. But like, I'm going to give my honest opinion. I really am. And like I said, it's been hard to go in because it's been like 6 months of attacking. And it's really upset me, I will say. Other than that, I'm excited to get into it. I know that obviously there's going to be a whole bunch of new characters this season. The only actor, I stayed away from acting and casting and announcements. I haven't seen any trailers or anything like that. The only thing that I have seen for an actor, I forget his name. But I know that Ralph from The Sopranos is in this game. And I am very hyped. I am very hyped to see him because he is awesome. I might have to throw in a couple Ralphie edits throughout the episode. But other than that, I think I'm ready to get into it. I appreciate you guys who listened to my discussion. Again, like I said, just to summarize, I have played The Last of Us Part 1. I've played The Last of Us Part 2. I am very excited. I'm very hyped for this season. I hope that this season can improve upon some of my problems with the second game. Again, I want to repeat, I don't hate the second game, but it's a complicated relationship. And again, I'll repeat one more time. Again, this is just a summary period. I am not going to say any spoilers or allude to anything or anything like that throughout the episodes. If I talk about spoilers, it will be at the very end, and I will throw up a spoiler warning. I'm excited to see how they structure this. I'm excited to see if this big moment happens in episode 1, or they differentiate the structure. So I'm ready to hop into it. If you guys do like the video, drop a like, leave a comment. I'd really appreciate it. I have got the full length reactions up on Patreon. For the entire season, I'm going to have them up. And also, this is probably going to release like Monday morning. Typically, they're going to be released... Well, this is probably going to be released Monday morning around like 8 o'clock in the morning. Typically, they'll be released at like 1 or 2. I couldn't do that this night. So... just expect them a little earlier. The final thing, the most important thing, if you do enjoy the content that I make for the channel, I would really appreciate if you subscribed. It really does help me out. Other than that, let's get into Season 2, Episode 1 of The Last of Us.
I swear.
Let me tell you what, as a video game, player, first of all, I love the fact that they got TLOU to bring the music into the show. It's such a fundamental part of the story. And I loved this moment, and I loved this episode. Again, I'm not going to discuss spoilers at all. I want to repeat, I'm very interested in the structure of how they do this. I know that there's some flashbacks that they could use to open up. And I think I would prefer it that way. Wow. Again, this was another fantastically adapted moment. Like, I think Season 1 had a lot of strengths. Wow, man. I got goosebumps. I'm excited. I'm very excited for Caitlin Dever. Again, big change.
Why would you do this?
Okay, well, I don't need to write down the characters because I know the character's name.
Well, some kid he took that was supposedly...
That wasn't true.
Supposedly what?
Something not true. Because it isn't possible.
No. Probably not.
You want to worry about something, worry about it.
That's interesting, not believing in the...
So what do we do? Do we look for other fireflies?
Where?
Oh, wow. I think I know that actress.
We're finding him. Yes, we are. Yes, we are.
I got goosebumps. I'm liking her in the role already.
Because here's what we got. He's a smuggler. His name's Joel or Joe. There's some confusion about that.
50s, graying, beard, 6 foot tall, scar on his right temple. Oh, yeah, they say he's handsome. I forgot. With a 3-day jump on us.
Yes, he is.
In our only working vehicle.
And we were trying to save the wounded.
Really?
But we didn't save anyone. Did we?
That's not fucking fair.
No. None of this is fucking fair.
Yo, she's good in the role. She's sounding just like Abby.
We'll help you kill him.
I really like this opening scene. Well, again, I'm not going to give any spoilers at all, but one of my complaints of the game was the lack of focus on these characters. Like the group as a whole. So I like getting that scene. Dude, that's my 3rd time saying it. Oh my god, dude.
When we kill him,
I have goosebumps.
we kill him slowly.
She's acting her ass off. You know what I mean? Like, people, let things simmer. I'm very hyped. This is also, again, talking about, I mentioned the TLOU music. Like, this is one of my favorite openings in TV history, too. Like, it just makes me happy. It really does.
Get up.
The most iconically overused tattoo in the history of tattoos. I can't. Is this sparring? What is this? Yield, you yield. Tap, my man.
Boom, motherfucker.
First of all, okay means stop.
Sorry, I was in the moment.
He is perfect for this role. Young Mazzino.
Seriously though, if you are, you could use an extra pair of hands breaking down firewood for the cookout.
Don't pull punches.
Oh, dude, I gotta stop saying I got goosebumps, because something I really do want to say, like, when it comes to the setting, you know what I mean? Everything about that part of the adaptation, I thought that the first season did absolutely perfectly, and this is no different. This is perfect looking. Look at it, look, it's an exact shot from the game with the tower. I mean, obviously a little bit of a tiny of a different setting, but oh my god.
First thing first, before you mess with circuits, you gotta check if the wires are live. So how do you do that?
I
Touch it? I don't know.
like them.
Voltage tester. Now, this right here is the part that matters. Bimetallic strip. Too much current runs through, heats up the strip, it bends.
She looks semi-interested. Semi.
Why is she angry at you?
Come on, you interrogating me right now?
She said she was angry?
No, but
The entire town can fucking tell.
Well, I figure it's normal. Her being 19 and me being
Teenager stuff.
what I am. No one likes their parents at that age. I never got there with my own kids, so we're both just figuring it out for the first time is all. We'll
Aww.
get through it.
yeah, that makes sense. So the springs hold the
The
levers.
thing
now?
is, I try.
You open up the can of worms, I'm gonna finish it.
I can't hold myself responsible for another person's emotional state.
Are you in fucking therapy? Holy shit, you're seeing Gail?
I'm not in therapy. Jesus, go fix the main line.
So again, that's one of the things that, like, fundamental difference of the game. But I'm gonna see how it plays out. Again, I said in the opening, and this isn't a
It'll be okay.
knock. This isn't a anger thing, or show Joel is a lot sort of more open and emotionally available than game Joel. It's a different character. I want to see how it plays out. Oh, I love that. Oh, that's something I didn't talk about in the opening. The lack. Oh, dude. Okay, good. I was like, damn, that was a great shot. The lack of clickers, or you know what I mean, whatever zombies in season 1 was despicable, despicably low. I will say that needs to be improved this season. I hope they do.
Actually, taking you off patrols for a bit, putting you on gate watch.
Gatewatch?
What? Why?
Oh, because it's an important job?
It's standing on a fucking fence.
He's concerned about you.
He's not my fucking daddy. Come on, man.
Last run, you were a bit reckless.
It was 2 runners and a clicker who barely had teeth. I handled it. Isn't that the job?
You wandered off on your own, Ellie. We have rules for
Oh,
reasons.
please. Dina does this shit all the time. No one's putting her on the fucking fence. Tommy, I'm an adult. He can't tell me what I can and can't do.
Yeah, well, he can tell me. I've been dealing with him my whole life. Sometimes, easier to just go along.
I don't care if it's easier. It's not fair. And by the way, you know I'm the one we should be least worried about when it comes to infected.
Hey, no.
I love these dialogue. Like, this is one of the improvements from the game, because it's not just 100% worse.
I got bit, everybody!
Hey.
I got bit!
Hey, hey.
I'm immune!
Whoa, hey.
Woo!
Jesus. God damn. I swear, you and my brother, same goddamn fucking person.
Goddamn fucking.
We've been using a ton of it to restore the new,
We need to build faster.
Faster? Sure, how much faster? See, we got this, dial, called the constructometer.
Joel.
The more you turn it, the faster we go.
We're running out of space to put these people.
Let's stop bringing in people.
Your, council, stop letting so many of them in.
It's our council. When these people are fleeing collapsed settlements, they're fleeing infected. We're supposed to leave them out there?
If our lifeboat is swamped, yeah, we leave them out there.
I mean, like, obviously, he doesn't really mean that,
If I could,
but
I'd let them all.
it's kind of the truth. Like,
Every damn day and night to make more space, you know that. But you gotta look after your own first, or you're no good to anyone.
oh, that's a great mindset from him. Great sentence.
Yeah.
I forgot the. I don't know if they gave me a name. I don't know if they said the name. Benji.
And what's that?
The fence.
And what's inside?
An interesting change from the game. This Benji, I like it. Add stakes.
I gotta go. You keep getting those monsters, Benji. Oh.
Oh my god. He's a nice shot.
You were a refugee too.
Yeah. Well, I'm the one. I'm working my ass off building. You can't. Come on. I'm telling you, I can. I can't.
It's open.
Gail, I'm interested about this character. Like I said, the video games are a lot longer. There's a lot more time and dialogue, so using these therapy scenes as a way to sort of explore show Joel's character, I'm open to it. Again, therapy is something that I would believe that show Joel would participate in. Again, I'm not saying like. I hope people don't misunderstand me when I say it. Game Joel is a lot more closed off. He's not good at talking.
Didn't know psychiatrists were
Tim,
allowed to drink.
you really got. Obviously, it's you know what I mean. But you got to barter for therapy in the apocalypse. That's awesome.
No, we're not allowed to drink in these things, but I woke up this morning feeling sad. It's my first birthday without my husband in 41 years.
Aww. You have your own therapist? I would assume that again, just talking about this whatever Gail has another job, because I would assume that she is not getting through. She's not allowed to live here just by doing therapy. Not saying that therapy is not important, but
Sit down with me for dinner anymore. And what do I get for it? Nothing. She comes home, shuts herself in the damn garage, which I should never have allowed her to move into, and that's it. Not so much as a hello. I see her around town, gives me a nod like I'm a stranger or some asshole. Even Dina asked me today, what's wrong with her? I mean, everyone can tell. Now that one.
I love hearing them. I'll talk about some spoilers at the end of the very end of my discussion, so this will be mentioned.
Looks up to me, makes me feel like I'm a good guy, which I am. See, Dina understands me, like she's my kid or something.
Jesus.
But she's not.
Neither is Ellie.
Don't beat me up.
Oh, a 19-year-old daughter. She's acting toward me like every 19-year-old daughter has ever acted toward their dad, ever. What is this, our 5th session? Are you just gonna
That's still early.
keep grouching on like this
Mr.
every
Groucho?
time?
Aren't you supposed to be validating me or something?
If you need validating, but you don't need validating.
Because you're lying to me, and it's exhausting. Yes, you are, Joel. Yes, you are. I've done this long enough to know when somebody is leaving something out, and you are definitely leaving
Very blunt for a therapist, I must say.
that. No. In fact, fuck no.
I like her though. Is there
It's
actually
not your first one of the day.
patient
No, it
confidentiality?
And before, when I said I was sad, that wasn't true either.
Because I don't think you should tell her at all.
Can't heal something unless you're brave enough to say it out loud.
Aww.
You shot and killed my husband. You killed Eugene,
Jesus fuck.
and I resent you for it.
Did Eugene find out about?
I hate you for it.
Damn.
I hate you for it. And yes, I know you had no choice. I know that.
Did he turn?
Well, I've tried, and I can't. Because of how you did it.
I mean, this seems very like, out in the open, like she's talking about like in cold blood, but
Now maybe there's a chance I can make things right with you.
oh, that's emotionally responsible, maybe?
Say the thing you're afraid to say.
I don't know, dude. Like, can we go out and say that? I can help you. You hate me.
Did you hurt her? Then what?
I lied to her.
What did you do?
Oh, that's a great shot. And the music, ah! So when this show adapts good, I love it. Because this is an adaptation, this is creation. I saved her?
I saved her.
I love that! I love that! Again, like the same music that was in the background. Obviously, I see the title is Future Days. I would hope that we have some sort of semblance of that scene. Or they might save that for later. I don't know. They might get rid of the scene at all, because I know that the timeline doesn't work with it, but...
Ooh, where'd you get the holster? Dominique.
God damn, dude. The gun's bigger than her.
Should've kept the boots. Here, let me help. I can do it. That's okay. I got it.
Rizzy. No, whoa, 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 whoa.
Just like that. Hold on. Let me get this part here. Yep.
Again, I really want to say, because I want to give Bella Ramsey a compliment. I love her acting. She, you know what I mean? I think that she's doing a great job. She obviously doesn't look older, but it's fine. It's fine if she acts good.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Aw, dude, like, it's the same scene! I love stuff like that. I love little callbacks.
You're taking Route 191 down to Hoback.
What snarky shit you gonna say?
Should we stick to the road, scan the countryside, hit our checkpoints, and sign the logbooks?
You know what? That sounds great. But while you're doing all that, we've got reports of strays, so be careful when you get into the town. Now, I see Ellie over here looking like Curtis and Viper.
Understood.
Thank you. Your patrol leader is Kat, so you will follow her orders.
Same Kat from the... She looks a little older than I would think, but...
The others look up to you, too. For some fucking reason.
The other people in the group look considerably older than these two.
No.
Why not? Kat's available.
Why would I ask Kat?
Because she's the other one.
Oh my god.
What? You used to with her, and she definitely left her mark.
Right, yes, thank you.
You just want to say it like it's a vampire.
Tell you what, you can go with me. We can get baked. We can dance to the smooth tunes of, what are they called? Brittany and the Drug Boys. It'll be fun.
Sounds great. I love this so much.
We're on.
Wait. We should go back and report it.
Blood?
Recon, Kat! It's fucking recon!
Wait, guys.
A little bit of blood. Yeah, boy. We got... Oh my god. Was it a bear? No, it wasn't a bear in the game. It was a horse. That's a nasty visual. Oh, like, look at this. Like, I get goosebumps when stuff like this happens. Like, again, I want to repeat, like, obviously, when you're adapting something, it's not going to be as good. It's not going to, like, it's going to have problems or differences or whatever. But when there's stuff like this, where they put actual care into, like, the setting, I love that stuff.
Hey, can we go back now, please?
Yeah, we will. Promise, we're just gonna listen quick, see if any are in there.
It's like, Ellie's obviously one of those characters who rub you the wrong way in terms of her bluntness and her annoyingness. But it's a part of her charm. Like, that's just what she is.
There's no babies in there. Hey, come on.
Dude, that's, like, stuff like that, like the climbing the truck and get, like, going, like, that's not something that I feel like a normal adaptation would include. They would just, you know what I mean? Oh, let's just walk through the door or something like that. Like, I love it. Again, I want to repeat, they did not have enough zombies in the first one. Like a disgustingly low amount, like almost like a spit in the face. But the scenes that they did have, they were really good. So I hope that we do get, again, I don't need 23 zombies in every episode, but like, give me a couple of those scenes every episode. Oh my god. I really hope, again, I wonder if we're gonna get stalkers, because I feel like you need to show other, oh my god, that scared me. You gotta show other forms of infected. I hope that they do that. They didn't show them all in the first one. First season, that is. Yeah, the bottle! The bottle! I'm more of a bottle person. I know that there's some brickers. Some brickers in the chat, okay? But I'm a bottle person. I'm a bottle. Oh. Safe code on there? They got the dog. It was dog related, wasn't it? Oh my god, dude, they straight up got this. I don't think we'll get the safe though. Oh, I love that. They're not very efficient.
Did you get bit? Tried to shoot you in the face?
Not today.
That's a great line.
Oh my god, before we leave, you gotta check out the employee.
She's been eating way too much, man.
Are you alone?
Oh, is there gonna be stalkers down here? I really this the way I'm saying like stalkers. This is what I sounded like last season. Like every scene, I wanted stalkers. They're the scariest part of the game, and it was a travesty that they were not shown in the first one. Kinda got chills. And why is that flashlight so yellow? Like so yellow. Not like a warm, like it was pure yellow. It feels like a horror movie. Nah, it's a stalker! Oh my god, I'm so hyped. Look, genuinely, like, in both games, like, the scariest part, the most visceral reactions from me came from, like goosebumps, the creepy factor that, like, they got to me. Is this like her first time running into these, or I don't know?
Run at me, fucker.
Nobody. No sirree, I'm holding back.
Run at me!
Oh, this is great. I like this. Dude, it feels like the light is fucking LGBTQ light. It's changing. Oh, that is so scary. It's changing colors. The light's green now. Oh, why are you bleeding, man? Come on, dude. You can hear him. Come on. Don't let Dina save you. Don't let Dina save your ass. Yo, I love that. Sweet Jesus, man. Oh, that's so creepy. Jesus Christ, how did they get me? I was expecting it. That is a bite, is it not? Muffled it pretty well.
Fuck.
Yeah, that is something. Yeah, like even though I'm immune, I'm still like making sure.
Over here.
You okay?
Totally.
Yeah.
Come on, dude. You do not have a good track record here, my man.
And you saw this?
Mm-hmm. It was exactly like Ellie says.
And how exactly is you two running into an uncleared building qualify as following the rules and obeying your captain?
Well, that's not the part we're talking about.
We've killed a lot of infected before.
And you're telling me what, if it were you and Joel, you wouldn't have gone in?
Well, that ain't the same.
Why?
Because it's different.
How?
Like, I understand the sentiment. It is slightly different because it's two more experienced men, but like we can't get on their ass for this because, like I said, they would have done the same thing.
Reality is nothing but a collective hunch.
Okay, buddy, spit out fucking philosophy at me.
We adjourn.
Adjourned.
I like scenes like that so much, man. burning it? You just missed. Yo, come, dude! Dude! You just wasted so much. Ah. That's vile. That's vile. You're a vile human being. No offense. Oh, look at that! Oh, I love stuff like that. So much, man.
Just coming to see if you were going to that thing tonight. Be good to show your face.
I don't know. Yeah. Maybe. I don't know.
Teenagers' living space.
Strings are shot.
Oh.
I'll put some new ones on for you.
Oh, you don't have to do that.
I'll get it back tomorrow.
Oh my, I got goosebumps with this song, dude. Again, I want to repeat, like, I'm thinking like E3 2017 or 2018, like that trailer. Oh my god. One of the all-time great trailers of video game history. And this is what I mean. Like, again, I don't think that these are perfect adaptations. There is a lot of differences. But when it comes to the setting, I have never seen an adaptation this close. I don't want to be annoying. Like, I have goosebumps. Like, it's so... Hi.
You guys will be back together in 2 weeks, tops.
Not gonna happen.
Why?
Ellie, hey, what took you so long?
Okay, this next one is a little slower.
Asshole.
Let's go.
Hey, don't forget, you got early patrol, so get some rest.
Sir, yes, sir.
These actors are killing it. I really do need to say. This feels straight ripped from the game.
I have a very serious question.
Dude, I have goosebumps with the dialogue. Come on, do the rub, do the rub. let's go somewhere. Let's see some homophobia. Where's it at? Where's he lurking? Oh my dude, she looks she looks like she's about to spontaneously combust. That's how nervous she is.
Maybe they're staring at you.
They're not.
Maybe they're jealous of you.
Dude, I have... First of all, she gave me some ASMR, I ain't gonna lie. Both of them are. But... Ah, dude, I love this.
I think they should be terrified of you.
We gonna see the whole thing tonight? Where is he lurking? Let me see him. Where's he at?
Hey. It's a family event.
Sorry.
Gonna keep going?
Sorry.
In a church. Dykes.
What did you just say?
No,
Get the hell out of here.
Seth, let's take a walk. Come on. Let's go.
Are you okay?
What is wrong with you?
It's so purposefully
I
awkward.
don't need your fucking help.
In an excellently written way. It hurts to breathe, like with such like a visceral and obviously awkward on purpose, cringy. Like, it's one of the best parts of the story. Are we gonna get this scene? Oh, when I get to my spoiler discussion at the very end of my discussion in this video, I'm gonna say a lot about this. I don't want to sound repetitive or like a fanboy or like I have goosebumps. I really do. Oh my god, dude, that is so scary. I mean, it's not better than Spores. But it's a good... They're coming, man. Bingo. That was a phenomenal episode. Something I do want to say, and again, I want to repeat, I'm going to say this every episode because I really don't, I don't want to spoil anyone or anything. I'm going to have a non-spoiler discussion for the next probably 10 or 15 minutes, and then I'm going to switch into a spoiler discussion. I'm going to make it very evidently clear that I'm doing that. There's no fear that I'm going to slip up or speak about anything. I absolutely promise you. I thought that was a phenomenal first episode. I really did. And again, I'll go more into specifics about it in a spoiler discussion, but for me, I think that it is a really a big shame that they did the first game into one season, because yes, it was it covered everything major, but it didn't show some of these smaller things. I feel like because the second game is being split into, we perfectly get to see that. You know what I mean? We see the supermarket, and we see, you know what I mean, some therapy dialogue that isn't in the game. We see some of that stuff. It allows the characters to breathe better. Again, I want to repeat, I really liked the first season. I really loved the first season. But the point of the first game is to get Joel and Ellie together, and there wasn't enough Joel and Ellie. Like, they were, again, I want to repeat, I loved the Bill and Frank episode, but it took a whole goddamn episode away from them. You know, you had Ellie in the mall. Like, that took away from Joel and Ellie. Like, but this, I really liked this. I really liked that episode. Again, I got goosebumps a whole bunch of times, but, you know, it really, the additions to again, I don't want to sound repetitive, but, like, the first game is Joel and Ellie. So all of the additions that they added in the first season, because there was such little time in the season, and it was only one season, it really did feel like it was taking away from Joel and Ellie. Whereas, because the second game is longer, yes, but also because you're splitting it into two, it feels like we're getting room to breathe. Seeing some Dina, like, already, I'm in love with, you know, Dina in the show. I really am. I love her, okay? Ellie, and I'll repeat it, and pointing back to the discussion I said in the first game, obviously, you know what I mean, I have to see how Ramsey acts for the rest of the season, her acting ability. But I thought that she was phenomenal in this episode, and I want to repeat, yeah, she looks the same exact as season one, but that's fine. It's fine as long as she acts, you know, decently, and she's more than decent. You know what I mean? She's amazing. The care that was handled in the sort of dance scene, you know, the sort of word to word dialogue, you know what I mean? The exact sort of framing, the Gustavo shot, was phenomenal. Like, I want to repeat, I think that season one was really hindered by the fact that it was only one season, but even then, obviously, popularity-wise, you know, I think it's the third most popular show in HBO history, season one is. They do really put so much care into the adaptation. Again, it's not a perfect adaptation. There's never been a perfect adaptation. But for the most part, I really think that this is amazing. I am interested, and again, I know I didn't look at trailers or anything like that. I do know that they said they were going to do one other episode akin to the Bill and Frank episode. I'm wondering what that's going to be about. Maybe about a Eugene, and learning about what happened with Joel. But, like, I really love that therapy scene as well. Because it's another thing too. And again, I don't want to. Again, the Last of Us community, both good and bad, it's such a toxic place, especially for your mind, because of, you know, stuff that happens in the game and people's opinions and all that. But people, and I think this is for video game fans that aren't, and I'm not saying I'm some, like, smart, you know what I mean, perfect, I understand everything, anything like that, but I have a film degree. I can separate, you know, the show from the game. And I think people need to understand that, again, show Joel and book Joel are very, very different people. Okay, not like it's completely, like, you know what I mean, opposite ends, but they have a lot of differences. And I feel like for this Joel, for Pascal's Joel, and his amazing acting, it's better suited for a more softer, sort of emotionally available role. And like I said, the dialogue between Dina and Joel, and, like, I loved, and like the Joel and Maria stuff, I thought was phenomenal. And again, oh, it was so good. That was such a good episode. It was such a good episode. I think there's going to be 7 episodes, and then obviously I would assume they'll do like another 7 or something like that. But again, I'll say this for the last time for this episode, but like I can just already tell from this episode, it was the correct decision to split this into 2 seasons, and the first game should have been given that same privilege. Now, obviously, you know what I mean, it was so popular. The first season was so popular. They couldn't necessarily predict that level of, intensely popularness. So, it might have been a risk to split it into 2, but even then, like, I feel like if season 1 were given as much time as I think or the second game is, I think that it's going to be, I think that it would have been so perfect. So perfect. Because, like, dude, oh my god, dude. I can't believe how good that was. Because obviously, again, with any adaptation, nowadays, not even nowadays, in the history of history, you know what I mean? Adaptations aren't as good as the original. So you go into it pessimistically after, you know what I mean, you experience a couple duds. So you could argue that maybe my expectations were a little lower than most, but this blew me out of the water. I thought that this was a perfect episode. The development, the character work, I love the chemistry between Dina and Ellie was phenomenal. Ramsey and Merced. I haven't seen her act in anything before. This is my first time, but I think her name is Merced. Her last name, I think. I'm very interested to see if we have any of the other, I don't know if I missed any, but see any of the actors from the video game in there. I know, again, the only thing I saw, I know that Kishina, I hope I'm pronouncing it right, Kishina Karadana is not in it, but that's, maybe she might be in the 3rd game, I don't know. I mean the 3rd season. But, wow, dude, like, I got goosebumps, it was emotional, it was a really good opening episode, and obviously, like, the structure is a lot different than the game, and I want to repeat, I think that that's a good thing. Again, I'm not saying that it's bad, but the structure in the second game is weird, and it would not translate one-to-one. It would not translate one-to-one. Now, there is a certain moment that I hope that they don't drag their feet on, I will say. I don't think they will, but like that'd be the only sort of fear of like a poor change in the pace. Everything else so far, seeing some of these, and it's not really a spoiler or anything like this. Like the reason I bring up the structure is because pretty much all of the events in this episode are showcased near the end of the game. So I really enjoy this change. I really do. I feel like you get to know the characters better, and it emotionally impacts you a little better. I really do think so. So all in all, I think that was a phenomenal episode 1. I really do. I think all of the actors, I do really need to say, like, were so good. That's the point that always gets me annoyed. Like, yeah, season 1 wasn't perfect for me. It had flaws. But stuff like calling the acting bad, like, you're just blind. You're not looking at it with, you know what I mean, open eyes. You're coming into it jaded. And like Pascal, obviously, and Ramsey too. Like, they're just as good. Like, they are just as good. I hope I didn't mess up their pronouns. I do apologize if I did that near the beginning of my reaction. I apologize if I did that. But all in all, I think that was a phenomenal episode. I'm very excited for episode 2 to see how they do things. Obviously, it's a little different than my normal reactions in the sense of I can't really make a lot of predictions, or I can't really like break down the plot or anything like that because I know what's gonna happen. So that aspect of my discussions might be a little lacking. But again, I thought that this was phenomenal. I really did. I am now going to transition into a spoiler discussion. I'm going to repeat, this is going to be a spoiler discussion. I'm going to talk about some of the stuff that was in this episode, my opinions on how they're going to do things, some predictions, some this from the game. So I want to repeat one more time. I am going to discuss spoilers for the 2nd and 3rd season. To start off with, I think, again, I can sort of be blatant and open now, you know what I mean? Starting off with the structure, again, I can speak openly. Part two's structure, its format, its pacing, it's a little off at points. Specifically, you know what I mean? You go full climax, back down, and then climax again. And then honestly, you go back down, and then there's a third climax. You can't one-to-one that. You really can't. And again, I did have a little bit of fear. Not fear. Deaver as Abby in the first scene I got of her, loved her. She was phenomenal. She was close to Abby. She brought more to the performance. Because again, now that I'm speaking about spoilers, one of the main reasons why I'm not sort of a super fan of the second game is because of Abby. And that's not what you think. You know, don't like, oh, it's because she did this. No, I just don't find her entertaining. I don't think that she's a bad character. I just don't personally love her. And because there's so much time devoted to her as a main character, a whole 50% of the game, that it doesn't hit as hard for me. That's all I'm going to say. But already in that first scene, I already like her more than... Is there something about the performance? And like, I really enjoyed that. I really, really did. And I'm so interested to see her. But anyway, you can't one-to-one the pacing of the game. Because while I think the second season would be fine, this season would be perfect. Okay, you know, ending at the theater. To essentially have no Ellie for like 5 or 6 episodes of the third season, and then, you know what I mean, have the final 2 episodes focused on her. That would not work. I think that would genuinely be poor writing. So I'm glad that they're sort of, you know, changing a little bit of it and going slower. And again, I want to repeat. I vaguely said it in my previous discussions, but splitting this season into 2 is so much better for the story and the character work. Because again, my main problem, I hope you'll understand this. I think that the writing of the second game is good. I just don't think the characters are up to par. Specifically, Abby and her crew. I feel like they're so underdeveloped, undercooked. They really are. And again, I'm not expecting flashbacks or full focus episodes on them. I don't need that. I don't want that, to be quite honest. But already they're sort of dynamic. Seeing them talk to each other, what is a lot better. And obviously, because of the nature of this being a show, when they get to, you know, Abby's 3 days, it's going to be, again, Abby's 3 days feel like fetch quests. It just feels like one giant fetch quest. So I want more character added to that. I'm very excited to see how they do this. Again, I think that the first episode it was a faithful adaptation, but it added stuff that fleshed out the characters. That, again, I want to repeat, the characters are probably my least favorite part of the game, and I'm already seeing improvements on those aspects. I really, really, really am. I'm interested to see about this Joel and Eugene stuff. I don't know if it's going to be a situation where Eugene they figured out. You know, I don't know if Eugene and if Eugene was a Firefly, then she would also be a Firefly. So again, I would think, and I know that Eugene is played by Ralphie from The Sopranos, so I'm so excited for that. I love that gentleman, such an amazing actor in The Sopranos. My question would be, well, now that I'm thinking about the two, that I would assume that Gale was a Firefly. I would assume that she already knows. You know what I mean? Again, if it's not that, the only other thing I could see is that he turned and he had to shoot him. But even then, like, I feel like Gale's reaction was very sort of angered and disgusted, and, you know what I mean, sort of very vile. But again, if Gale knows that, you know what I mean, he killed her husband in cold blood, I don't think Joel would just be able to live across the community. So it's either some sort of like secretive murder, or, like I said, he turned. Maybe he finds out and he turns. Maybe Joel gets him turned. I don't know. I don't know. I really don't. It's interesting. I really don't want to get into it because people like. I don't want to sound blunt. People don't understand writing and story sometimes. And again, I want to repeat. The Last of Us community has become so toxic, where it's either toxic positivity or toxic negativity. There's nothing in the middle. You can't, you know, praise and dislike something. You can't, you know, analyze something. It's always, you either hate it or you love it with this community, and it's hard to be a part of sometimes. But you know, Joel made the right choice at the end of, you know what I mean, see, at the end of the first game. He obviously has to be punished for it, but he made the right choice. If you like, he Everyone agrees. Everyone who's gone through this experience, all of the writers, like, Joel made the correct choice. But that choice is to be punished. And I think, not only is this punishment, you know what I mean, obviously, you know, but the thing that I think was underdeveloped, not underdeveloped, and I think this is where the poor pacing comes into play in the second game. I loved the flashbacks with Joel and Ellie. I'm not just talking about the good ones at the museum and all that. I'm talking about, like, the arguments, the dance scene, their porch scene, which is the hardest I've ever cried in the history of fiction. I bawled my eyes out for an hour after I watched the porch scene, after I finished the second game for the first time. I thought it was spectacular. I thought that aspect was really good, and it really got to me. But the sort of weird cut pacing of it it's not the best way to explore it. Seeing, again, I'm not, like, saying, oh, I should have wrote the game. I'm not saying that, but if I the thing that I would want is sort of the story of Joel and Ellie. It's in the second game. It's obviously the first game was the rise of their relationship, okay, and then in between the first and second game was the downfall. You know what I mean? And then right at the very end of the story, after Ellie's gone through everything that she's gone through, they drop a, you know what I mean? Oh, well, the relationship was looking up. And yeah, that's heartbreaking. That's gut-wrenching. That, like, tears your heart out. But I don't think that that's the best way to do it. And I like the way that they focus on this, where it's not like you see, like, the conversations with the Tommy shooting stuff, which, again, it feels like they put all of the flashbacks in the first episode. I don't know if they're going to do the museum thing. I hope they do, because that is a peak of the show, of the game. But I really like the format that they've done with this. I really do. Again, I want to be an author, you know, I have a film degree, but I'm not, like, some experienced person. But again, this is just my opinion. I think that the events of in between the first and second game should have been the second game, and the second game should have been the third game. Because I really, again, Joel and Ellie, they had so much chemistry. Not just the game, like, also, like, the Pascal and Ramsey, they have such good chemistry together. Seeing that decay is entertaining. I hope you guys understand what I mean. I like seeing the scenes that I got between them this episode. It adds more. It doesn't feel tacked on at the end. And again, I want to repeat, I've played The Last of Us Part 2 more than I have any other game. Obviously because of the gameplay, but, like, again, I want to repeat, I don't hate the story. I think that the story is good. It's just very poorly formatted, and I think that Abby's side of the characters are not up to par. They really are not. I'm not even just talking about Ellie's. I'm talking about, like, the first game. Like the characters in the first game compared to Abby's characters are genuinely terrible, in my opinion. But they're, again, I like the sort of Abby and Ellie, two sides of the same coin, sort of thing, to pun with Abby with the coins. But I like that aspect of the characters. You know what I mean? I just the format is really drags it down, and I think seeing Joel and Ellie have some of their decay in the beginning adds to the emotion. And again, like I said, I think that they're perfectly going to do it in the sense of, and again, it is different. It is very different. I think that they're going to show, you know, this first episode, they're going to go through the story, and then at the very end, they're going to show that she came back on the porch. That is good writing. Not all of the flashbacks randomly strewn throughout the story. That is good formatting. I really do want to say. I like, again, the thing with an adaptation, too, is you can't one-to-one everything. Even if it's really good. You have to make a couple changes. You have to do a couple things. So I do want to say, I love the sort of the Joel therapy stuff. Again, I want to repeat. Joel in the show and Joel in the video game are a lot different. They're different, okay? But this Joel is sort of perfectly suited for that. And changing the Joel and Tommy conversation in the first scene of the, you know what I mean, show, I keep saying show, of the game, of the second game, into more of a sort of, you know what I mean, repeated therapy session. I do really, really, really enjoy that, I must say. I'm very happy with that first episode. Like, again, I'll repeat, I think that is considerably better than the beginning of the game. I really, really, really do. Again, Dina's actress was fantastic. Bella Ramsey was phenomenal. I'm in. Like, you know what I mean? I'm in. I didn't love the second game. I didn't love the second game. I didn't hate it. Again, I'll repeat, but I didn't love it. I had a lot of problems with it. It wasn't my favorite experience. But I'm not some stubborn baby. I want to see it improved. I want to see it done, you know what I mean, with some justice. And I think so far that it really, really, really has followed that. I really do think it is. So, props. Major, major, major props so far. I think I've talked about everything I want to talk about. Like I said, I think I'm going to keep this format for the next, for the entire season. Again, I know it probably won't get me as many views, you know, because I have seen, I have played the game. I know what's going to happen. But I still want to experience it with you guys. I really do. So I thank you guys for watching. If you guys like the video, leave a comment. I'd appreciate it. I've got the full-length reactions up on Patreon. And if you like the content that I make for the channel, I'd really appreciate it if you subscribe. Also, I just want to say this, and yeah, if people are listening to this, or, you know what I mean, obviously, I've seen the game. I've played the game, and I would like to get into conversations about the game and the show and some certain stuff with you. But don't just drop spoilers in the comments. If you want to talk about something spoilery, you know, put a spoiler warning on it. You know, I don't want anyone to get spoiled, because again, I think it's I think it's one of the worst things you can do to someone, especially, like, I know for me. I've strayed away from spoilers with pretty much everything I've ever watched. The one singular thing I've been spoiled on, it like ripped my soul. So I don't want that to happen to anyone. So please don't just be, even though I've played the game, don't be blatant with the spoilers in the comments. But other than that, like I said, I will see you guys next week. The next episode, episode 2, should air earlier than this one did. This one's probably going to air at like 8 or 9 in the morning on Monday. Usually I like to get weekly releases out at like 1 or 2 a.m. But I couldn't for this one, so we're going to hope I get a little better with that for the rest of the remainder of the season. But like I said, you guys have a good one, and I appreciate you guys for watching. See ya.